and welcome to Back to School Night. My name is Mr. Min Nguyen, not related to Mr. Dean Nguyen, who teaches bio and physio, Miss Tan Lam Nguyen, who also teaches bio, or Miss Lin Nguyen, who also teaches math. But I teach math 1, 2, and 3, and my contact is nguyen, M-I, at esuhsd.org. I definitely prefer email, but if you want to loop mail me, that's okay too. To tell you a little bit about myself, I'm a Piedmont Hills High School graduate. This is my 6th year teaching, but only my 4th year at Independence. And my basic philosophy is to provide a safe, welcoming environment that encourages student success. I try to meet students where they are because I know that everyone has a different foundation on math, and to push students to build on their previous understanding, because it's important for students to understand that all this is related, right? Like from 1 to 2 to 3, from everything in elementary school and middle school, it just continues to build on itself. The topics that we cover in this class in Math 3, which used to be Algebra 2, is still pretty similar. We compare linear and quadratic functions. We work with polynomials, except at a higher level than what students did at Math 2. We study a variety of functions, radical functions, logarithmic functions, exponential functions, and rational functions, including others. And then we also study trigonometry, so the trig ratios, the trig functions, like how to graph them, identities and formulas, so how to kind of like manipulate them in relation to each other. So that's what we cover this year. The class details, we always meet on Zoom, so twice a week. Tutorials, which is just like, tutoring time, are generally available by appointment. The time slots are Tuesday and Friday from 2:30 to 4, and from Wednesday from 1 to 4. There's homework every day with the occasional exception for quiz days. So when students take quizzes, I try not to assign homework. Assignments are always on big ideas, and students have until the following midnight to complete their homework. And the reason I do that is it offers them the chance to, that time window always includes time for students to meet with me for a tutorial if they don't understand the material. It's a nice 30 to 36 hour window or something like that to do their homework from the time it's assigned. Since this year is different than any other, we've obviously had to kind of adapt to the change. And my biggest thing is having or making videos for the material. Whether I make the videos myself by lecturing or just providing students with material from someone else, then I try to make videos available so that students can refer to the material. Basically, you just redigest the material on demand. Some other adaptations are being flexible with the grading categories. I'll go over that on the next slide. And extending time for homework assignments. So I try and give students at least 15 minutes to start their homework in class, and then that gives them the chance to ask questions as well. And then, as I mentioned, the time window for completing the homework is pretty long. Some advice I have for students is to speak up and don't be afraid to ask for help. And that the sooner you attend tutoring, the sooner you can get individual attention. Obviously, in Math 3, most students have a pretty good understanding of how school works. But again, a friendly reminder doesn't hurt. When students need help, tutoring is just the way to go. This is the current grading scale. This is how I open the school year. Big ideas, which is their online homework, 10%, quizzes 20%, one-on-ones 20%, the final 20%, and then tests 30%. I'll talk about changes I'm thinking of making, but until then, first, students and parents can see grades by going to the Google Classroom page, clicking on classwork, and then clicking view your work. That provides a breakdown by category, percents in each category, and sum. But a couple of realizations I had were that I did not have time for one-on-one meetings, basically where a student would be able to walk me through 2 or 3 problems in the span of 10 minutes, just because scaling that up to 150 students is not really realistic on a regular basis. And that's currently I have tests and quizzes in 2 separate categories, but really because of the fact that we only meet twice a week, then taking out any day for a quiz, and then separate times for tests would just be kind of too demanding on the schedule. So I plan on rolling those into one grade category. When I update grades, I try to do that on a weekly basis. I'll input either homework, quiz scores, or warm-up grades. Some additional resources for class and school. So for class, Khan Academy is definitely go-to. And then Patrick JMT does a really good job covering a lot of math topics. So when students need help, they can just Google search using the title of the section and one of these resources. So you could type in Khan Academy factoring trinomials or Patrick JMT graphing y equals mx plus b. And generally, those searches will turn up good results. Outside of this class, for school, this school offers a ton of clubs, and I definitely advise students to join a club or clubs as they see fit. Why might students join a club? For sure, for the teenage demographic, a big concern of theirs is friends, right? Spending time with their friends or making friends in a club. It also allows them to develop their interests, right? Find a hobby or find something to get better at or find something to learn about. And then lastly, really practically, it gives students organizational skills, right? You learn how to be a member of an organization, either just as a member or, hopefully somewhere along the line as a leader, right? You learn leadership skills. So I definitely encourage joining a club or clubs. So with those details out of the way, I just wanted to wrap up by reminding parents and students that we are Sixers. So this is a really big school, which can be a good and a bad thing. One of the bad things is that it may feel overwhelming, but the flip side of that is that if you pursue your interests, whether they're academic or extracurricular, you'll find something that you can be a part of. Like, this school is so big, we have so many organizations and course offerings that students can definitely find a place to fit in and kind of like develop their passions. With that being said, if you have any questions or concerns, I definitely encourage you to email me. Thank you for tuning in.